I'm Sean, Longevity with the New Old Heads, and this is episode 489. On this episode, we talked about the Knicks and Donald Trump, Fat Joe comparing the Knicks NBA Finals run to 9/11, ReedMySole saying our culture's timeline is a mess, Jay Electronica not showing up to his tour dates, and Future saying Jay-Z was a non-factor in 1996, that and more. Support the show, get our uncut 2-hour episode without ads by becoming a $5 Patreon or YouTube member. And please make sure to click the bell and turn on notifications. We'll see you in the comments.
You are now tuned in to the New Old Heads podcast. I am Major 7th. The brothers are in the building. Starting off with my man Jay Moore representing the Mac. How are you, sir?
You know, just trying to get it before them white folks take it.
I heard that, man. We're gonna leave it at that. I have no more to ask. We're good on that. Speaking of white folks, my man Longevity, how are you, buddy?
Just trying to take it, man.
You trying to take
my
it?
best.
As a white man, he's trying to take it. I feel that.
I feel like the other white people are against me.
I feel you. That's
can't get enough of this white.
Yeah.
Anyways,
That's
Good
right.
to
That's
be
right.
a white man again.
That's right on schedule. I appreciate
Joe
that.
Scudder.
At least you're honest. I appreciate that. My man DJ J Div, what's happening, man?
Salutations.
How you doing, brother?
Good, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the Dick Gregory shirt, man.
Come on, man. I gotta rep my man. That's my guy. I had a small, minuscule relationship with this guy, but this was my dude though. So Dick Gregory is my guy. So don't get it twisted.
Yeah,
I talked to him.
That's my go-to.
On multiple occasions, and he cussed me out at least once, and he cussed me out in a speech at an event. So that's my dude.
definitely shout out to Dick Gregory.
And my mama was
a
sitting
St.
right
Louis
there.
original.
Come on, man. My mama was sitting right there at the table with him, and he still cussed me out. So
Hey.
I got this short little clip that's like 5 seconds long that I'd started posting on Threads anytime somebody just talks too damn much.
yeah.
And it's him going, "You keep talking, man." It's like,
You keep talking, bro.
and I'll just share that clip, and then they'll say something else, and I'll share the clip again.
Yeah. He told me, we can beat this out, but he told me when I was, he was in my cubicle when I was working out, Northwest DC.
Mm-hmm.
In the branch that I worked in, he would actually come in and cash checks or whatever. That's how I met him. And I made the mistake of saying, I don't know, Mr. Gregory, I don't know. And he told me out loud, I'm talking about there are people all in the lobby. He's like, I was there. I said, okay, let me slow down. I'm sorry. Let me slow down.
You got him flustered.
Yeah,
exactly. You got it.
And then he takes his big notebook and puts it on the table with all the documents that he's talking about. And I'm like,
He
okay.
just carries it around with
I'm
him.
talking about has it on deck. 100%.
I like that. Was this him just trying to cash a check?
No, he came in there to cash the check. But
okay. I mean, well, you
while he was
in there-
cashing his check,
in
he
there
came into my little cube, and he's like, I was there. I said, okay.
What did you do something? What did you do to make Mr. Gregory so upset?
You know
it don't
what?
take a whole lot.
It don't
I'm
take
just-
a whole
Yeah,
lot.
but I can see
But
you doing something.
I will give him credit, though. At the end, he was like, I like you, young fella. You real smart. I appreciate you, and thanks for taking care of me. And then he gave me his information because I got him a speaking engagement later down the road.
Okay.
So he was like, man, I appreciate you, young fella. Here's my wife, Lil. She gonna take care of everything, and if I'll see you at the event. Cool. But he definitely cussed me out. 100%.
Yeah, you had it coming.
Yeah, I did.
It was definitely warranted.
I chose to speak, and I was like, I should have shut up and just let him talk. Huh?
Keep talking, man.
You keep talking, man. Like, yeah, that's my guy, though. He's shout out to Dick Gregory. The champ is in the building. Shout out to Gobo. Donald Trump's reaction to Stephen A. Smith telling him that he shouldn't come to the Knicks game because he's being selfish and all of the hoopla and the fences that have to be put up and, blah, 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 blah. And one of the reporters basically was like, Stephen A. Smith, who's a guy that said he would run for president. And Trump was like, I don't think has the competence to run for president or the IQ.
Low
IQ. He's a good guy. And I'm like, fam.
You need a certain aptitude to run for president. You need a high IQ. I'm not sure that Stephen has that.
You're the last person to make the argument about competence and low IQ as it relates to a president.
We love
but this
saying
thing
competence.
this thing is blowing up online because people know that Stephen A. Smith has hinted at this. I don't take him serious, but
Better not.
But the fact that Trump tried to cook him is like, that's the story now going into the Knicks game. What do y'all think about that? Because
honestly, when you brought it up was the first time I heard it.
No, they're really
Who's
ice.
they?
When I say they, I mean, I look at my timelines, I look at Instagram. I try to do the research to see what people are talking about.
People.
The people that alone hate. But, bruh, why is this even a conversation? Is my thing, because nobody takes Stephen A. Smith serious as a presidential candidate. At least I don't.
Nobody took Trump serious as a presidential candidate either.
Even better.
You know, and Stephen A. Smith is more competent than Donald Trump, which is saying something.
Yeah, but isn't that the irony? Because you got an idiot telling somebody else that they're not competent. I don't know. I feel kind of conflicted about this whole Trump. Well, not conflicted at all. I don't like the fact that seeing everybody celebrate at the Knicks games with these high-ass tickets, no players protesting, no organizations pushback, no NBA, nothing.
There were a couple players that said
Silver. Hart said something, but
Hart
Silver sitting down in front of, talking to the guys and them not really saying anything, probably not even being in a position to say anything, and then just the audacity, and then it just felt very oddly dystopian in a way, or just not even really. I don't even know if dystopian is the right word. It just felt it's kind of like
American.
Yeah, it felt extremely American to the point to where like it was kind of sickening. And I'm just like, man, we will. It doesn't matter as long as we're entertained.
Let me ask you this, Lone. And the argument was made by Stephen A. Smith that Donald Trump was being selfish.
Yeah, he was.
So you agree?
That's not up for debate.
What I'm asking is, with him coming to the finals being more about him instead of actually being a Knicks fan, that's what people are trying to talk about. And Stephen A. Smith was like, bro, you're about to mess it up for all these fans that have watch parties and all that. And then when I saw the fences go up, I was like, he's right.
No, he was right. I knew
he
that.
Was right.
That's the first thing that I thought about when they said, "Oh, Trump might go." I was like, "Okay, so that means prices are going to go up."
There you go.
It's gonna look.
You had to act like you were getting on an international flight to get into Madison.
Come on,
site check.
And just the areas around it, and don't get it twisted. Like New York fans are insufferable, but at the same time, like he's more insufferable. And
he was there asleep.
At the same time,
again,
yeah, exactly. And at the same time, like, yeah, it's been a long time for Knicks fans. So like, I can, even if I think they're insufferable, I can still be like, man, what an asshole move.
That part.
That's seemingly very New York of Donald Trump to make this spectacle about him instead of like, the thing, like I think he said something like, yeah, you just stay home. Motherfucker, you stay home.
Yeah. That part.
Like
that part.
Nobody likes you.
That part. Did you guys see the reception on the on the jumbotron?
You gotta understand,
booing is not enough.
These are the people that know him best, and they boo him.
That's fair.
So it's not up for debate. What he did was selfish because it's like, okay, yeah, I'm sickened by how much, when I saw the price of those tickets, I was like, who do you expect? I mean, I realize there's a lot of wealthy and a lot of rich people.
$188,000
in New York,
for floor seats.
But Jay, in my lifetime, I've never seen. Now we in Indiana, so it's downscaled. But I'm talking about they did a comparison on a show on ESPN for Kobe's last game, right in LA. These tickets were like $3,000 or $4,000 more than that. So the price gouge was ridiculous with him being in the building.
And then but part of me, and this is where someone would make the capitalist argument, is that the prices are set by the marketplace, because it's not like a whole bunch of seats were available at those prices. Like it was a sellout.
Is there a Trump impact?
No. Like those tickets were going to be that whether Trump. No one's like, oh, now I got to be there because Trump is there. If anything, it made those rich people who paid all that money angry that they had to show up 2 hours early to make it to their seats. Like I said, everyone from the people who worked there to the players to the broadcast team was inconvenienced by Trump's. If you've ever been anywhere and the president is there, like, you got to understand, they shut down the highways and everything has to go through.
You're right.
And the thing is, like, the people who shoot at him are often miss and, wind up hurting somebody else, and it's
I saw Joe Bud make a comment around that. He's like, I want to know where he's sitting at because I don't want to be anywhere near him.
Come on.
Yeah, because if because the way his shooters act,
sure,
they'll mess around and aim at him and hit me.
You know what's crazy? I guess the idea or the visual of the fencing around Madison Square Garden, I'm like, yo, this is crazy. This goes into what Stephen A. Smith talked about, because normally it's, watch parties, it's people running around being crazy, excited about the Knicks, but they were so restricted because he was there That's when it actually landed where I'm like, yo, this is definitely some selfish shit, 100%.
And whether you agree with how he runs the country or not, he does have other things he could be doing other than hanging out at a basketball game. And like you know, people have that same criticism. They're like, well, when Obama went to a basketball game, like, you know, and
he wasn't president.
He wasn't president.
Come on, Long.
You know,
come on.
No sitting president has ever been to a
finals
finals
Long.
game.
You know, and it's just there's always this whataboutism when even the people who support Donald Trump know he's wrong. Yeah. And they always got to try to be like, well, there was that one time Bill Clinton, we're not talking about that right now, first of all. And you're talking about someone who wasn't president when they did what they did.
Yeah. Everybody was up in arms when Barack Obama wore that tan suit.
Yes.
It might have been the end of the world, and that was the biggest thing going on at the time. But stuff that Trump gets away with is people don't even talk about it. He was in the game saluting. And you're not even supposed to salute inside, indoors. I want to say Obama did it too at one point in time, and they ran him over the coals. But like, it's almost like you get a pass if you're this dude and you're part of the Minion Squad.
Look, I remember, and I wish I knew where the clip was from, but I remember Barack Obama said, "What if I had done any of this?"
Yeah,
and you know, it was a point where people were laughing, but he was like, no, for real, what if I had done any of this? And you could point at anything. What if I had torn down part of the White House? What if I had, what if Barack Obama decided he was going to throw the equivalent to whatever you think Barack Obama would enjoy, a UFC, and, you know, create a whole stage on the South Lawn or whatever lawn.
It ain't a lawn anymore.
Yeah. And you just know that if he did any of this shit, that it would be the end of the world. And like every time Donald Trump is like, oh, well, you got to understand
narcissism,
you know. And so I don't know, man. We're just in this weird place in America to where it's like there's some people who are like, you guys don't see this, and everybody else is like, no, I don't see it. It's like when that movie They Live with Roddy Piper.
Yeah. The glasses.
Oh boy,
They Live.
My man, what was his name? I'm mad at Mr. Silverthroat. What is it? Incredible voiceover. Keith David. And you know, he's trying to force him to put on these glasses so he can see what's going on, and he's fighting it to where it's one of the best, like, you know, movie fights ever. But I feel like that's where we are right now, to where if you don't want to see it, you're not going to see it.
That part.
And so like it's almost you could fight somebody and force them to see it, and they're still going to be like, yeah, I just don't see what the issue is. And so that's where we are right now.
Before we jump into the next topic, if you are frustrated by ads and you're watching on YouTube, become a $5 member on Patreon or YouTube, and you get 0 ads. I turn the ads off on it, so you can watch the whole 2-hour show uncut, get all this stuff that we've been talking about outside of the official 1-hour episode. You get an additional hour with 0 ads, 0 frustrations.
Future says that Jay-Z was a non-factor in 1996.
Was that true? Did he actually say that? I thought it was like some BS.
He was talking about that Reasonable Doubt era.
Okay.
In terms of who was listening to what. So there's a clip of Future in a barbershop setting, you know, with former Hot 97 host Ebro and record exec Steve Stout. And it surfaced online. I can't find where this came from. I don't know how I stumbled upon it, but I found it short.
Man, top 5, man, it's like, man, saved that in a moment of hip hop, like for like Tupac and Biggie. Like Jay-Z wasn't great when Tupac and Biggie was alive. Like it was Biggie, Tupac, Ice Cube.
Nah.
Hold on, son. You heard the Reasonable Doubt album. Man, it wasn't hot until they died. Nobody really wasn't checking for it.
The Reasonable Doubt album.
No, it's flames. It's hard. Like it's a classic. But I'm saying at that time,
Stout, in 96 when Reasonable Doubt came out, it came out to a lackluster beginning.
It's like your classic album. They always go back for your classic album. You know what I'm saying? When Nas dropped his first album, it was great then. Like when I Ruled the World came out, it was the best then. Like you had to go back and listen to Reasonable Doubt. Like, man, this is the best shit ever.
The question I would pose as gentlemen that were outside, historically, does this perspective hold any merit based off your memories? Because we were outside when I had the, you know, Dead President single on CD, just for the record. So I can speak about this. But what do y'all think about Future's comments?
It depends what the metric is.
Okay.
Non-factor to what?
I think he's comparing Biggie, Tupac, all the stars.
I don't think he's necessarily saying a non-factor.
Okay.
That's the reason why when you said that, I was like, was that true? Because I hadn't seen that video.
Okay.
But I will say this. When Jay first came out in 96, Reasonable Doubt was an album that people that really enjoyed hip-hop, New York hip-hop specifically, rocked with.
Did you have it?
Yes.
Okay.
But I didn't buy it when it first came out. I want to specify that. I did not buy Reasonable Doubt when it first came out. A couple of my homies had it when it first came out.
Okay.
Future is from the South. And we hear this argument a lot about people down south not rocking with Jay-Z. Whether that's true or not, I mean, it depends on what pocket of down south you're in. There is some validity to what he's saying as far as if people was listening to Jay the same way they were listening to him in 98 and 99. Because, I mean, he has a point. It was Pac. It was Biggie. Nas had 5 mics in the source. It's automatically going to gain you recognition. And then when that came out, when Reasonable Doubt came out, it's in the midst of the East Coast, West Coast beef. So everybody's mostly paying attention to what Tupac and Biggie have to say. I mean, obviously, Pac acknowledged Jay-Z because he was one of the people that he dissed. But he was on his ascension. He wasn't somebody that was regarded as the artist that he was even 2 to 3 years after that. So, yeah, I mean, I understand what he's saying, especially from being from the South.
Jay, give me a history lesson on this.
Well, you know, a lot of times, and I feel like Future is one of these people that regards record sales as a metric of whether or not somebody was hot or they were really doing something. And at that point, Jay-Z, you got to understand, a flop album at that point was something that still went gold. Because you have to understand, when we're talking about the Bad Boy Death Row era, LaFace era, you have to throw that in there because people always talk about Bad Boy and Death Row, but LaFace was selling more records than anybody. But they were R&B labels, so it is what it is.
True.
Even with Outkast and Goody Mob. But Pac was selling millions of records. He was on the radio and on TV all the time. But you got to understand, All Eyes on Me is, was that this 5th album? You know, if you include Thug Life, you throw that in there. So he had time, basically, you know, Pac had been famous since same song, you know, so he had a time to build his career. He had, you know, the perfect level of controversy. He was also an actor who had been in movies that did well, you know, and so like by the time he gets to All Eyes on Me, he's a bona fide superstar.
That's true. Even but Biggie only had one album.
Biggie only had one album, but it's like even if you compare what Ready to Die does next to, you know, what Pac was doing at the time, you know, I can't say that because, you know, I would compare Ready to Die and Me Against the World, you know, because I would put them in that same category out around the same time, and you know, that's part of the beef that Big and had with Pac had with Big.
No, that wasn't the same because Me Against the World came out during the same time that Ready to Die was out.
Yeah. Because I was going to compare it to All Eyes on Me, but that's not fair.
Okay. I thought you said Life After Death. My bad.
Okay. People forget just because of where Jay-Z is now, and you know, unfortunately, the demise that happened to both Pac and Biggie, they were all contemporaries. Like they were competing and for space on the radio and on shows at the same time. You know, like I said, you made the point that, hey, Jay-Z was on his rise. That was his first album.
If Big hadn't died, we would have got the commission.
You know, so like there's so many what if factors there, you know, but once again, when I think Future thinks about, you know, oh, it wasn't that, he's thinking about, well, you know, this is when Going Gold, like I said, Going Gold or 350,000 copies at one point, that was a big deal in hip hop.
I don't think that Reasonable Doubt went gold for a long period of time though.
But
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Just the same way it took a while for Illmatic to go gold and go platinum. You know, but at the same time, Reasonable Doubt did have one thing that Illmatic did not have. It had a hit record.
Yeah, definitely had a hit record.
It went gold in 96.
Did it go gold in 96? All right, I stand corrected.
Well, I stand corrected.
But like
I stand corrected.
As far as people actually listening to that album, though,
yeah,
it was not
no
cross the country type of thing.
No,
definitely not.
I was a casual at that time, and I can definitively say
I stumbled up on Dead Presidents. Probably via something on BET or whatever. But I remember buying the Dead President's maxi single, instrumental, what have you, acapella remix.
Because I think Ain't No was on the B side.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And that was a hit. Honestly, it should have been flipped. And
but I bought that.
Ain't No ended up being on the Nutty Professor soundtrack.
Yeah.
So I had that CD sync when I remember one of my homies being like, "Man, Jay got an album that's cold," or again, if I'm telling history wrong, whatever. But I remember that CD single that had Their Presidents on it. So
they just re-released it.
Perfect. What I'm saying is when I remember having that mug and being like, "Yo, he's cold." So it allowed me to go down the rabbit hole to see what was going on as it relates to Tupac and all the rest. I already knew about them. So to his point, yeah, Jay was pushed back to the side a little bit, but for me to be like, he wasn't really, out like
There's
that.
some validity to that though, because you got
there
see,
is.
I look at
on
it
the mainstream. There is.
I look at 100%. It from a
100%.
lens of I was involved in hip hop to the point where I collected music like somebody would collect basketball cards.
There you go.
So if I seen something on Rap City or what's it called on MTV?
MTV Raps. Yeah.
If something sounded good, I'm walking to the record store and I'm gonna buy either a single or an album. I might have got burnt here and there, but that's where I was at in hip hop, and there was a lot of people like that. But there was a lot of people that weren't, because I went and bought a Jay-Z album, and I'm one of, let's say, 100 people in my neighborhood that actually has it. You have to think about that on a not necessarily global scale, but even in your city and in your state.
Yeah.
Nobody was rocking with Jay like that as far as him being the Jay-Z that we know today.
I agree.
It didn't happen for a couple years. And I want to say that Reasonable Doubt wasn't even revisited until like maybe 2 albums after it. Other than people that was like really into hip hop at the time.
Is it fair to say that it felt more like underground vibes?
I wouldn't.
And I'm talking about in comparison to everything else that was out.
I mean, if you have to compare it to something, I
Biggie,
guess you can, because but most of the hip hop would be considered mainstream if you heard it,
right,
especially if it made it to TV. Although it might have been underground a little bit, but like underground is like Boot Camp Click and like hieroglyphics and
that's your perception.
Those type at that time.
Because I feel like Jay might be in that.
Look, Jay-Z
he might be in that area because to your point, everybody that you just named, I knew about them.
Look, Jay-Z,
because I was strapped in, I had a backpack, but
had a song.
Jay was in that area too.
That featured Mary J. Blige.
On his first album.
On his first album, it was like the second single. There was a video for it. Barry wasn't in the video.
Knock the Hustle.
Yeah, but you got to understand, like, we have the way we view that song. Like, I just, once again, going back to my time reading the trades, being in radio, that wasn't a huge radio record. At least not outside of the the Northeast.
It wasn't
not
here
even
at
close,
all.
So I just
here
remember
wasn't nowhere.
the only time I heard that record was on Street Vibes, which is the underground community station, and that's where I got put on to Jay-Z, not through mainstream radio, but through underground hip hop radio in St. Louis.
Yeah.
Again, I was a casual at the time, but I think that is important for this conversation because the first that I got hip to Jay-Z was on No Way Out.
Oh, okay.
In 97. And at that point in time, I had listened to hip hop before that and afterwards, but it was what dominated the radio stations and the media that we were watching in wherever Indiana was not Jay-Z. And
absolutely
so
not.
Not at all.
What are you doing over here? You doing
trying to get
he's taking selfies.
Yeah, he didn't get good ones. But that's all.
I just
am I throwing you off?
Yeah,
I apologize.
I mean,
sorry.
Let Jackson do
he
his
didn't
thing,
get good ones. I was picking my nose. Go ahead.
Well, like I was saying, like I don't feel like Jay crossed that threshold until after Biggie died and after Puff Daddy got out the way.
And that is a part of the argument.
Because I feel like they, along with Tupac and all that stuff, they also opened up the threshold for hip hop to be commercialized in a major way as well. And the blueprint. I would even skip in my lifetime. I would say the blueprint.
Blueprint was crazy.
I think that was
volume
the one.
one and then volume
Volume
two.
1 and volume 2 is the one that actually
That was the breakout.
solidified him as a commercial
That was the one that sold
artist.
5
Going
million.
into
Because of Hard Knock Life.
exactly.
Yeah, volume 2. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hard
Volume
Knock Life.
3 was
But I think that was the one for me where I was like, oh, Jay-Z he's the guy now.
yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. That's kind of what I would say, at least from my perspective.
Even Jay even says it. Gave you prophecy on my first joint, and you all lamed out.
Yeah.
And that's selling gold. You all lamed out. I sold gold. You all lamed out. Didn't really appreciate till the second one came out. And then because that's where he's trying to hit the more commercial pocket, if you will. And I mean, but No Way Out. Yeah, No Way Out had everybody doing shit that was out of character.
True.
And so. Hard Knock Life,
He
Volume 2.
premiered Sunshine on the No Way Out tour.
Really?
Yeah.
I bet he didn't premiere the video.
Nah, the video went out yet.
But yeah, I mean, I think that's just, like I said, Jay-Z basically, in a way, backs up what Future was saying.
Yeah, I think Future's actually kind of valid, depending on where you're from. I feel like if you were in the crates and you were like what Terry was saying, like if you were up or Jay or if you're from New York, I'm guessing you probably have a very different perspective of this as opposed to somebody from the South or somebody who maybe got most of their hip hop from either what's playing on the radio or what's on MTV. You know what I mean?
Cali was not rocking with what's it called? Reasonable Doubt. They were not rocking with that.
Plus, even
South wasn't rocking with that.
Plus, even when Jay-Z was emerging as this new person to take over the Biggie and Pac thing, it wasn't just Jay, it was DMX and Jay.
Yeah.
Talk about DMX.
And there was a time where DMX was potentially larger than Jay, that 1 year. So
no, it wasn't potentially, he was.
So I mean,
he was, but
I
mean, I'm gonna leave it alone because we'll start talking about numbers, and I don't want to get into numbers
For sure.
But it just depends on. That's why the very first thing I said is like, well, what's the metric? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, I think Future has valid points. I don't think he meant that in a like malice or anything like that. It was just like he's saying what was going on. Like if I can rewind back to '96 and I think about high school, there wasn't a whole bunch of cats in my high school bumping Jay-Z. They definitely was bumping No Limit. They definitely was bumping 8 Ball and MJG.
Not mine either.
Pac.
Not that year. Or not the
Biggie.
97 even.
90, yeah, absolutely.
I would say once the Blueprint came out, that's when everybody was bumping Jay.
No, it was in Volume 2 with when Hard Knock Life and Ride or Die.
Because if you think about Volume 2, I'll even say this: when Volume 2 came out, Mace dropped not Double Up. What was his Harlem World at the same time that came out, and if we want to keep it a buck, Mace was the top dog at one point in time. So I remember going to the record store to buy those albums, and my guy got Harlem World, and we want to hear the Jay-Z too. So I bought the Jay-Z album.
Are you talking about Harlem World, the group, or Harlem World, like
the actual album?
Amazing,
the actual album.
Because that was a little earlier than Volume 2.
No, Volume 1.
Oh, okay. Volume 1 and Harlem World were out at the exact same time.
Yeah.
For the record,
97.
like I bought Volume 1, Imaginary Player, You Must Love Me. I had the whole CD.
It's a good album.
Me and my boy Boog, we used to ride to that every morning. Like, so I had Volume 1.
Until it got to the point where it was trying to get them Puff Daddy, like
Sunshine was trash.
Sunshine, I Know What Girls Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
but everything else,
it started off so
all that
strong.
was crazy.
Yeah, because the intro is crazy on there.
Yeah. So we had Volume 1. We were playing Volume 1. I vividly remember that.
And if I'm keeping it real with myself, Volume 2 was the one that everybody else latched on to.
Yeah.
That wasn't my favorite Jay-Z
because of Hard
album,
Knock Life.
even at the time.
It was because of Hard Knock Life. I think
Hard Knock Life and Can I Get Her?
Yeah.
But I think
those
Hard
two.
Knock Life had this weird crossover.
Crossover was crazy with the Annie sample.
The
that
Annie
was
sample
crazy.
Yeah.
That was crazy. Like that he's sitting on the stoop with the babies.
Yeah.
That was the one.
It made sense.
Yeah, Volume 3 had heat. I never liked Snoopy track with Juvenile. I don't care what nobody said. I thought that was
I
trash.
didn't hate that.
I didn't hate it. Jay's superpower.
I hated that.
Jay's superpower is he stayed consistently good.
Yeah.
And in some areas, or somebody could say he was good enough in some spots, but overall, Jay stayed consistently good and made it to great. and made it to where he is now. So like, yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
People arguing with Future. I'm like, nah, it's some meat on the bone.
And then you got to realize
as it relates to the timeline.
Yeah,
there's some meat on the bones there.
Future came up with the Dungeon Family.
He did.
You know, so he's not. I don't imagine they're down there listening to Jay-Z albums at all.
I would highly doubt it.
Not in the heart of the Dungeon Family.
No,
at all.
No, they were creating their own sound.
But I tell you what, when it was time for the Hard Knock Life tour, it didn't matter if it was down south, if it was west, if it was east.
Nope.
Like it sold out. That tour sold out no matter where it went.
And it was Jay-Z and DMX on that.
Jay-Z, DMX, Meth and Red. Yeah. You know.
To Long's point, though,
that was an East Coast tour that sold out everywhere.
I was there.
But to
Marcus
Long's
Square
point,
Arena, one of the last shows at it.
But to Long's point, though, man, that Andy sample for that volume 2, like that mug put him in a whole different lane.
Yep.
It worked. It was flawless how that worked. I remember.
And Busta Rhymes tried to repeat it.
Jay-Z tried to repeat it.
Oh, the joint. Get out.
Sure did.
Yep.
Get out of here. Yeah,
which is
tried.
a Dilla record, actually.
Yeah, he tried. Yep, he did.
Yeah,
I remember liking that record, though.
Yeah,
I liked it too, but it wasn't. It wasn't.
No, it wasn't Hard Knock Life.
a Jay record.
You know, but when Jay tried to come back and with the song "Anything," from Oliver, I believe it was, and it was
was a bonus track though.
That was a bonus track because they was trying to help out the Beanie Siegel sales. So on the U.S. release, you had to buy Beanie Siegel's album to get that.
There you go.
But if you got the overseas release, which is the one I downloaded early, it was on Volume 3.
Interesting.
Yeah, Jay was
the
doing
same
a
with
lot of that.
Is that
he did that with
Is That Your Bitch? Like that was they put that on
Memphis Bleak album.
Over here. Trying to help out Memphis Bleak. You know, but like I said, if you got the European release of Volume 3, that's some joints.
Go look at Memphis Bleak's streams. His most streamed record is Dear Summer.
Yeah.
That's a Jay.
On a Memphis Bleak album. Yeah, that's crazy.
We know that as a Jay-Z record pretty much,
I mean,
right? Am I wrong?
Memphis Bleak isn't on that.
I've got like 20 records. If I have one feature with Drake, that's going to be my biggest record as well. I'm just saying. It's just what it's going to be.
That's how it
Dear
works.
Summer is cold, though.
At one point, the most streamed Nas song was a song he did with Lil Nas X.
Hey, man.
Those are numbers for you. You are now listening or watching the New Old Heads podcast. Our official 1-hour episode is released every Saturday at noon Eastern, where we share our exclusive uncut 2-hour episode to our YouTube members and Patreon members early every Wednesday. The show is brought to you by Coleman Dental, Indie City and Vinyl, Decademics, and Bringing Down the Band. And most importantly, you. You can support the show directly by becoming a member at patreon.com/newoldheads, where we embrace the new, respect the old, and remain ahead.
Apparently, Jay Electronica fell asleep on the train, y'all. I'm sorry, man. I don't want to be that person.
I was sleeping on the train.
He still sleep on the train, y'all. So over the weekend, Jay Electronica had been scheduled to headline a show in Las Vegas at a place called The Usual Place. Despite the show being at 7 p.m., Jay Electronica didn't make it. After midnight, the concert promoter felt obligated to explain the situation. I'm not mad at this guy. We have a video of this because he's justified.
This real talk. I've never witnessed some shit like this. But I'm gonna be straight up. Supposedly he's gonna be here around 2 a.m. The venue's gonna be closed by then. I don't know what the hell's going on with this dude's mind and shit. I don't know what's up with them right now. I'm sure some of you heard about Phoenix the other night. I don't know what the hell's going on with his mind, but I don't want to say the word, but Jay Electronica, man. I don't give a shit. Real talk. No lie. We will be back, but I'm going to be back with a real legend and shit. We're going to put on a great show for y'all.
I understand this guy's frustration. You know, we have a lot of artists that we've been a part of shows where people have bailed or it's a thing, right? It happens. It happens, right? I know you know as a person that used to do a lot of promotion, but the question I would pose is how impactful can this video truly be in today's era of instant gratification and entitlement entitlement as it relates to the artists that come out and perform for these shows in this era?
Look, man, I get why he feels some sort of way because that's money out of his pocket now.
Right.
You know, whether or not he paid, a deposit for Jay Electronica and then, the rest was due upon the finishing of the show. Because you're not just messing, when you're an artist like Jay Electronica, you don't show up to something, you're not just messing with your reputation. It's the reputation of the promoter. It's the reputation of the venue sometimes. And so I get exactly why he said what he said. Right. And he was justified in that. Jay Electronica was here in Indianapolis not that long ago.
Yeah.
And I think it was like maybe the week or two before that we reviewed when he got up there and called everybody a coward.
Yeah.
Who, didn't want to listen to him spit. Exhibit C.
Hot fire.
Acapella with no beat. And, just that impression of him, the place that was where the show was isn't that far away from my job.
Right.
And I just
walking distance.
Yeah, really, it was walking distance in my job, and I was like,
do you want to go?
I mean, I just didn't have why would I? In my mind, I'm like, why would I subject myself to this? It's sort of the way
he might have done sleeping on the train.
Yeah, whatever. Like it's the same way when I remember my girlfriend at the time, we went to go see Lauryn Hill when she came here, and
be respectful.
I'm being respectful. You're not even respectful. I'm just saying, there was a point where I'm like,
be respectful to my time.
Long, don't do that.
Exactly. Long. At one point, I'm like, all right, she ain't gonna make it. I just didn't think she was. It just got to a point where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give her 5-10 more minutes, then I'm going to coaches.
Did she show up?
She did show up, and at one point, I'm thinking she was moving so fast through these songs. I'm thinking, oh, she's just trying to get the out of here.
Hey, don't do that.
And then at one point she gets to caterwauling through some Sade covers, and and I was like, this ain't it. But then when she got into what I come to see Lauryn Hill to do, it was different. So I did enjoy the show, but at the same time, I knew it was about a 50-50 chance that she was even going to show up.
Yeah.
And it's not because of, it is because of her previous behavior. And as much as I enjoy Jay Electronica's music, he ain't Lauryn Hill, not even close. So for him to pull these sort of antics, dude, you're hanging on by a string as it is. You never you kind of gave us the album that we were waiting on. I mean, to me, that's Jay-Z's last album is a written testimony. Then you threw out a bunch of other stuff. You kept putting, you put Shiny Suit Theory on several albums. I get, I don't know. I can't say I get what you're trying to do. I can't shoot Jay Electronica any real bail. I really can't.
No, we shouldn't shoot him bail as it relates to him not showing up or being absent for his responsibilities. I'm not shooting any bail for that.
Yeah.
And the guy that was talking about the promoter, he has every right to say that. Here's what stuck out to me: listen to the acoustics of the people that were in the
because it was their money. But
what I'm saying is, it was super light in comparison to what you would think a Jay Electronica show would be. Is that am I wrong?
Because a lot of people probably went home,
bro. But that sounded like a show that's a local show, with local artists, and then a feature might come on or whatever. But when I heard the people saying, "Yeah, go ahead, go," it's it sounded hollow in there.
I don't know the size of the venue. I don't know.
But I'm going off what I saw, bro.
I just know that you'll mess around and have people stick around, and then all of a sudden, someone comes out and says, oh, so-and-so can't make it, or it won't even be a good excuse. It's not even missed a plane or this thing. I mean, look, and I understand there are a lot of things. Look, at one point for the 20th anniversary of Take That Tuesday, had Scratch Bastard not taken a certain route, because there was all that fooly-wang going on with TSA, and it was a lot going on at that specific time as far as people flying, right, internationally, because he's coming from Toronto.
Yeah.
Right. We caught a real break on him even being able to show up, in enough time for him to kind of, hang out for a minute before he gets on.
There you go.
And does his set.
Yeah.
So there are logistical things that hold up, performers from getting where they're supposed to be. But at the same time, now we're seeing a pattern with Jay Electronica. I don't even, because he referred to something I know you heard about Phoenix. I don't even know the story behind that.
Yeah.
But he must have skipped out on them too, because he's using that to build his story.
Yeah, it probably was something similar. But shout out to the promoter though, because I seen the longer form of this video where he also addressed the crowd that if you feel a certain type of way, you can go to and get your money back for the show.
Good point.
But if you enjoyed yourself here, you know what I'm saying, pretty much appreciate the artist that you did come to see.
And we're going to be back again next week.
And we're going to be back again. I mean, this is something that he does. So this is his livelihood. This isn't him just showing up and deciding to throw a Jay Electronica show if some contracts and some arrangements and booking was made, then you're supposed to show up and do the show.
Or at least communicate why.
Communicate, yeah.
It's a lack of communication.
And then to say that
100%.
I'm not going to show up until 2 a.m. when the venue is like, well, we close at 2, so that's not going to make logical sense for you to even show up. So we're just going to give you some more of what we have here. And if y'all appreciate us, don't dispute the charge. If you do, I understand. Some of y'all came to see Jay Electronica.
You know what's crazy is, and self-awareness and the people around you is very important in terms of who you are as it stands for your actual career, where you are. Him saying, I'm going to show up at 2 p.m. or 2 a.m. Sorry, 2 a.m. to a venue that you, more than likely, the people that work with you knowingly that this is going to close at around 2 a.m. The level of narcissism for that, it's
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I think he just didn't care.
No, what I'm saying is, I'm thinking it's like you think you can do that and it's still going to work. Are you really that big of an artist to be able to say, I'm going to show up at 2 a.m. and everybody's still going to be there? That, Jay, is what I'm talking about. Well, that's the narcissism part.
Number one, we don't know what the actual conversation is, so we can't put that on him.
Okay. All right.
We don't know. Like he just said, okay, maybe 2 o'clock, right? But we don't know what that conversation is.
Is that too far-fetched for me to say that, though?
It is if you don't know what it is, right? Because we don't know if he said, "Hey, that looks like we're not going to get in until 2 o'clock," or "Hey, we don't know what led up to that." You're kind of putting a little bit too much on it.
I'm casting it on him as a negative, from a negative standpoint.
Yeah, like he's saying, "Hey, I'm not going to be there till 2." We don't know. Right. I mean,
I'll take that.
We don't even know if it's him. Maybe he was touring with other people when he was here in Indianapolis.
Right.
If it's that same tour, who knows who he's communicating with?
Right.
Who knows if he's by himself? I don't know what's going on with that. The guy who threw the tour that was on tour with him, I'm Facebook friends with him because he tours a lot and he's been on tour with a lot of people. And I don't know him personally, but we've traded messages before.
Yeah.
I hit the guy up, the other person who shouts to Simon said, I hit him up before the show to see if everything was like straight when they came here, but he didn't get back to me, so I'm guessing he's busy. But like, it seemed like when they came here, everything was fine.
And what's crazy about that is they actually didn't even have a show scheduled here.
Yeah.
They were passing through here to go to another show, and just off the strength of somebody else on the bill, they decided to stop here at Lyrics and Libations.
I think it's Landon. Landon works well.
You know what, Long? I'm going to give you that because that's my bias. I'm pushing my bias on him, thinking that that's the perception. So, you know what? I'm going to stand corrected on that.
I just, my thing is that we just don't know. We don't know.
Either one
of
us don't know, but I'm just saying, I'm admitting that that's my bias and I'm pushing on him because it's the negligence. It's like, in my mind, I'm seeing the negligence.
It doesn't.
But I really don't know. I don't know.
But it doesn't mean that he can't do better. You know, like
for sure.
You know what I mean? Like,
100%. Yeah.
Like if I'm not going to be at a show on a tour, I'm gonna be in communication with the people that I'm working with on a regular basis and be like, hey, what's your ETA?
That's all I'm talking about.
How's this going out? How can we plan this? Is this going to work or not?
Because this is how you eat too.
Do we need to rebook the show? Do we need to do? How do we need to work with this? And Jay's been around long enough that he should know this, or the people around him should know this. So
and that's all I'm talking about.
Yeah, because shows get canceled and things happen. We were supposed to have De La Soul here one time, and it was during when airports and all of that shit was messed up, and they weren't able to make it. But it was communicated that they're not going to be able to make it.
That part.
That's understandable. But if you start to create a pattern to where, okay, I mean, Vegas is not that far away from Arizona.
True.
Like it might be like a 3-4 hour drive, if that, depending on where you're at.
Yeah, if that.
But yeah, I mean, you can't build that pattern. Like people pay money to go see Lauryn Hill with the expectation that she's going to be late or she might not even show. So it's like a gamble. But you're not on the level of a Lauryn Hill
at all,
unfortunately.
At all.
So you need to be a little better about seeing your attendance.
So shouts to my guy Simon said, I'm not going to put him on blast, but he literally just messaged me.
Oh, for real?
And I was like, was everything straight when he came here? He said, yes and no, but he said, based upon what's happening in the last week, we got the all-star treatment.
Okay.
But apparently there's some other stuff going on. So
okay, there it is.
Yeah. So shouts to Simon for
a legit source
for the info. Yeah.
That was live too, like literally just now.
Yeah.
Literally. Yeah.
Yeah.
We always give you the content here. Like and subscribe.
Yeah.
Oh, we getting more live updates.
No, he gave me more context here.
Okay.
Oh, let's go.
He said we can share it.
Yeah, he said.
FaceTime you.
I asked him. He said, if you've already shot the segment, it's probably best to let it be. But I also feel no responsibility to protect him because felt a little disrespected based upon some of the stuff that he was saying.
Come on with that FaceTime.
Essentially,
Simon's that dude.
Based upon the stuff that we just talked about with Jay Electronica, and based upon our local sources of Simon Said and guys that have booked him locally, apparently there were other issues with Jay Electronica specifically, not the people he was necessarily on tour with.
Okay.
When he came here as well, even to the point to where some stuff had to get refunded based upon something that, let's just say, him not acting as professional as he should have.
I hate that.
So
I'm sorry, I hate that.
So that's unfortunate.
Yeah, man.
So it does look like it is like, for me, throwing him a little bit of bail, you know, to your point of which you're kind of alluding to. It sounds like there is some merit to the alluding to.
That's all I'm saying. There's a legit source that speaks to what we were talking about. That's fair.
So we can cue the ad lib that Jay Electronica does. It's like, yay, because Mike was finally right.
Yes, I was right. Look at Gobo's tickled. Look at him.
But I will say also real quick that they turned that show around with Jay Electronica in like 48 hours, and they sold it out.
Yeah,
good for them.
So shouts to Lyrics and Libations.
Yeah, good for them.
Yeah, man.
So I stopped by there one night and like,
don't let him be the goofy stop you from getting what you need to get.
And it was just kind of on a humbug. And the thing is, it's like I was talking to the cats that were there. I was like, hey, you know, I do this thing called Take That Tuesday downtown. You know, if you guys ever want to check that out, you can follow Take That Tuesday. And, you know, sometimes you just need to be humbled. I'm not saying like I was going in there like popping big shit like, y'all don't know Jay Moore? Like, no, I was like, hey, man, you know, we do our hip hop thing in downtown. You know, you should come check us out. You know, and it was like, what was your name again? I was like, oh, I'm Jay Moore. You can follow Take That Tuesday right here. You know, we'd love for you guys to come and check it out. You know, because sometimes you can get in a situation where you think people are supposed to know you, and no, they're not.
Nah.
Now they're in a whole different pocket. These are some young cats. They've never experienced downtown, and they're just happy to be outside doing what they're doing. You know, so they were really receptive and very cool and took pictures. And I don't know why they wanted to take pictures, because I'm like, they had no idea who I was, but it was all love there. So shout out to Lyrics and Libations.
Straight up.
Yeah, dope peoples.
That's real.
And he just told me, he said they might have somebody else coming.
Okay.
Well, good.
Shouts to Patreon members. This is not going to go on there, but he said he might be working on something with potentially having do come through with him.
Oh, that'll be solid.
The culture's timeline is a mess.
Seeing where we're at in society.
I think he's doing this for like.
In the oversaturation of everything, it makes a lot of sense to me that Drake is being perceived as this musical god when he really isn't.
The leprechauns have magically run out of praise. Your son on a federal jail line mumbling something.
Right now, I think that the song of the summer and the best song out right now is Spend That by Young Miami.
He's got a case.
That is what a real hit sounds like. Whether you like that song or not, you're going to want to sing it. You're going to want to sing a part of it. I haven't heard any of Drake music. I've been avoiding it because I'll be honest with you. My plate is full and I am happy and healthy. It's been awful. Everything's a lot. Let God sort them out. God does like ugly. Junkie in the Sun. These albums are keeping me fed because they describe what's going on in reality right now. God does seem to like ugly. It seems like it, right? Like it does seem like the reality in which we're in, the worst people are winning.
Shout out to the homie ReedMySole because I think he's spot on with his assessment.
He made some valid points.
He does, bro, in terms of his timeline and what things, especially starting up with the Ray J, that dumbass fight, whatever. But I'm going to flip it. I'm going to the opposite direction. So what has to happen for the current culture's timeline trajectory to change? Based off what you just heard,
sure,
or ReedMySole. Is there something, can we fix this or what?
No.
We can't?
No,
is it too far gone?
Look.
Based off what?
Based off the fact that, you know, right now, you can say the culture is sick.
Okay.
The world, man.
But it's because the people are sick. And I'm not casting aspersions on people who like who seem to be entertained by Ray J.
Okay.
Or Adrian Broner or
that shit was stupid, right?
I mean, yeah, but but it's right now, like I said, it's the same thing where I talk about the bad students getting all of the attention. And this is where we're at right now. Even when, like, I almost don't want to say this, but I'll say it now because we're here.
Yeah.
Like that song by, what was it, Young Miami?
Yeah. He said that's the regular. What,
that
man?
Shit is
what? Hold on.
What,
man?
Jason.
Yeah.
He sounded like Charlie Brown.
I hate y'all.
I try not to look at Terry.
Yeah,
even Youngin is laughing. I hate y'all. Stop that, man. Let's focus.
I was like, wait, is he gonna
come on, man? Let's focus. Come on.
Shout out to the Patreon.
Sorry. Come on, let's focus. Patreon got that. Let's focus.
Okay.
Go, Bo. Chill. Come on.
No, but even with the Young Miami song, where the part of me that used to work in the club, I can hear it. Okay. But at the same time, I'm like, are we just going to just keep celebrating failure in such a loud and obnoxious way?
No, that's a hit.
I said it's a hit.
Yeah,
it's a hit,
I know. I'm agreeing with you.
Is it cold or is it a hit?
But
no, it's a hit.
But once again, like, and maybe I don't know why it hit me this time. Maybe it's because I am getting older and I'm out of that situation where I have to listen to this shit for 3 or 4 hours a night. But I'm like, yeah, once again, it's another song where we just out here. Because if you are a scammer or you're doing whatever,
theme song,
I understand where you think, okay, this is for me. But if that's how you live your life, you are, you throwing rocks at the jail.
Come on.
And you're and you're literally like, you have failed at life if this is how you got to make your money.
Man.
But we're celebrating that in a way. But at the same time, when you see fraud and foolishness at the highest levels of government, then
come on, Long.
Why would, so honestly, right now, this is something to celebrate.
Nah,
and it's not something that I personally think is fly or cool, but I can see why if you're younger and if you're like in your 20s or maybe your early 30s even, at this point you've seen 10 years or close to 10 years of Donald Trump doing his thing. And people are making excuses for everything that he's done. So when you make a song about scamming and drug dealing and being basically a drag on society, why would you not think that is cool? Because you see it at the very top. So why not celebrate it when it's at the very bottom?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. But I feel like we've been here for a long time. It's just supercharged and on steroids now because it's so easily consumed and readily available to everybody to look at and participate in. Reed pretty much said that I'm full based on what I'm consuming.
Yes.
Musically.
Yes.
I'm not paying attention to this bullshit. But something that needs to be done. And honestly, I think we're at the point of no return. Like, you can't put the toothpaste back in the toothpaste bottle, essentially. It's a mess already. So I don't know what we can do to make the trajectory change to something that is more viable and more, wholesome, so to speak.
I think.
What you think, Lo?
I think a lot of it has to do, not to pivot too far left or right here from what we're talking about, but I think it's super related, is we're in a literacy crisis right now. Not to say that people that listen to this music are stupid or anything. That's not what I'm saying. But but when we look at society and where society is right now and how we just want to be entertained all the time, this goes kind of back to the stuff I was talking about with the Knicks and all that other stuff too. But it's just we're in an interesting place right now to where, I don't think the toothpaste can go back in, especially not on the trajectory that we're on, not with an administration that does not value like important stuff like education and normal stuff that people need to just exist and to just to enjoy their lives on a regular basis without a bunch of stuff being on fire all the time. So whatever music it is that people are enjoying and people gravitate towards, like a lot of this feels like escapism in a way. And, I don't know what the solution is to that outside of targeting kind of the root of the issue, which is first, can we have better leadership? First, can we have people that value the stuff that we need to grow as a human race, and things of that nature. And I feel like a lot of it comes down to that. I can't be mad at somebody for liking a scam song, a scam rap song. That's a genre now. I can't be I'm not mad at that. Like it's whatever it is. And if it's a bop, it's a bop. You know what I mean?
Bippity boppity boo.
And so You know, people are hurting. People are struggling in silence a lot of times, and a lot of people are doing so without even realizing it. And you know, a lot of people are just miserable, man.
Yeah.
And I think I don't think it's just like somebody said. I don't think it's just the cultural timeline that's messed up. Like it's the world.
It's overall, man. If you want to see a prequel, which now predates what should be a documentary now, and we've said this before, check out Idiocracy. It's exactly what's going on right now, which was supposed to be a comedy, but this is real life situations. That is. Shout out to Big Boy now.
Upgrade.
Yeah, with
that part.
With 3Ds for 2Ds for double dose of
this pimping.
Yeah,
man.
It became a double dose of incarceration.
Yeah.
Listen.
I mean, your second question is like which section of the timeline has more impact, the music side or the political side? I think, you know, I don't know.
Is it tomato? Like, is
more
it
impact?
Is
I would say politically, because everybody seems to want to identify with something politically. The music is going to be here and going to be gone. I mean, some of it's poisonous.
It reflects society too.
It definitely reflects society, and everything is a goal. It's cool to do any and everything. You know what I'm saying? So it definitely reflects the politics, but I feel like the politics are more on the forefront than the actual music.
I guess I would say that I agree with you to a certain extent, but we have watched the power of music and its influence, and it's grown. Like, it's to the point now where I'm not going to say neck and neck. I'm not, because politics are always going to rule, you know, whatever we got going on. But to dismiss the music part of it, I don't know if that's fair, because we're in a different era now. Music is very powerful, influential, and popular.
I think
it's not dismissing the music, so to speak, because there's people that will never hear spin that.
Okay.
But they know exactly what's going on here politically and identify with something politically.
That's fair.
Regardless of what the music is doing.
Okay.
So they're identifying with whoever's in office and whatever side they decide to take, the Democrats and Republicans, so to speak. Shout out to, you know what I'm saying, Kendrick. So that's the reason why I say it's more politically based than musically.
But you're not dismissing the music side per se. It's just
I'm not dismissing.
I will a little bit. I will a little bit though, because I think when it comes down to it, and Jay, I'll let you chime in. But like, I feel like, again, music is a reflection of what's going on, and music is inconsequential, as opposed in the same sense that sure, music can have impact on what people do to some degree.
Super powerful.
But politics are directly impactful. Okay. What happens with politics, things and things that help people's livelihoods and healthcare and all these other things that dictate what people do and what they do throughout their life. That is directly connected to everything else, even to the point to where who is making the music, because it's affordable to make the music depending on who's doing it. And politics to me is it. It's not necessarily the idea of politics, but the politics that happen. So,
and the music right now isn't intertwining with the politics. Like back in the day in the 90s, you would have an artist like a Public Enemy that would say fight the power.
True.
The biggest shit, right, like he just said, is Young Miami, Spin That Shit, and Drake, Janice, STFU.
Yeah.
These are the biggest songs right now. They're not politically charged, but they identify with the politics. So I agree with you on that, based on where we are as a society.
But, you know, do you think we're just more in a time of escapism through entertainment than we've ever been, just because of how heavy the actual political landscape is? And, you know, the things that if you sit and watch the news, it's not on CBS.
It's fake news.
Yeah, I mean, but, you know, I think, you know, like, yes, Spin That is a celebration of failure, but it also is in a weird way aspirational to a point where, like, I want to be somewhere where they spinning that you know what I'm saying?
Not quite a Negro spiritual, but
yes, but it makes you feel, you know, for that 3 minutes or whatever time that song is on, there is an escapism there to where, like, everything is good, even if we get money through scamming. The scamming money is doing us, doing us a favor right now. Let's not talk about how scamming leads you to jail. In fact, at one point, wasn't her partner when the City Girls were a thing? Wasn't she in jail for scamming?
I can't take it even further and say it is a reflection of the politics, because without the political landscape that we have today, you probably wouldn't have to scam.
That was essentially my point. Is like if people's material conditions are taken care of a little better, then there's not an entire genre called scam rap. You know, like if
just one song.
But no,
there's a genre.
There is that one dude that was telling people how to scam. You are correct.
There's an entire genre of it. Yeah. But
they just don't have slaps like Miami got right now.
They got instructions though.
They're kind of hilarious actually.
Yeah,
but I mean, music reflects society, and I think music's kind of dumb right now, and it reflects especially in the United States of America, reflects the dumbest administration we've ever had. So
yeah, man. Say that shit.
Dumb with a B. And like Trump said,
dumb with a B.
A lot of people don't know that there's a B in dumb, but there's a B in dumb.
Says the person that was asleep
everywhere.
In the finals, there was a
finals, Oval Office.
There was some in the Oval Office. He was asleep.
Didn't he come up with Sleepy Joe?
Yeah,
he's very sleepy to be.
He called him Sleepy Joe, but I'm like, fam, you be sleep.
I be sleep for real.
I'm talking about important events. You be sleep. The Knicks and the NBA.
That's because you
be sleeping in the White House.
He be sleepy every morning. He be sleepy because he has to tweet late into the late hours of the early morning. He goes on his tangents. Then he doesn't wait until.
And he's an elderly man.
He is.
That's the thing. Like, can we just please, like, the same way you can't be 30, you have to be 35 to be president. Can we stop romanticizing the old person that knows better than everybody, and that's why we vote for him for president?
Yeah,
like this has to stop.
That part.
I think we've proven that that's not necessarily always the case.
So from Sleepy Joe to Donald Trump back to Ron, let's get these old motherfuckers out of here.
Yeah, I agree.
Could you please stop? It's just got to stop.
Yeah,
because I think, and it's not just because, and I'm not, like I said everybody on the political spectrum. I don't care who you are. Maxine Waters, you got to go. It's time to go. You've been around for too long.
Have a seat.
Look,
sail off into the sunset.
Look, I just think about my dad being in his late 70s, and if somebody said, "Hey, you want to run for president?" He'd be like, "Absolutely!" Like he just wants to
be an advisor or something.
I think about my dad wants to watch his cowboy movies and occasionally
Gunsmoke.
Go do something, have dinner with my mom, and go to the Kappa Jazz Jam. Like that's the life for somebody who's already. You can't be 80 years old trying to run the country.
I already want an easy life. Yeah, so I can't imagine how I'm gonna be when I'm in my 70s, 80s.
I'm knocking on 50, and I'm like, ooh, that seems like a lot of work.
Yeah, man.
NewOldHeads.com for all the education you need this year. If you see it, like it, subscribe, hit any bell that you see for notifications. Also, check out our Patreon page where you have the exclusive, full, uncutted episodes. That's where everything happens. It's the best content. Appreciate the support. We'll see y'all next week. Peace.